We did it.
Welcome, internet.
The internet needs to be more grateful for what we spare them. Okay. For everything we put them
Easy.
through,
You're welcome, internet. You're
for what
welcome.
we put them through, they could have heard so much worse than that.
Oh my god. Compared to the internet, I
Ah,
think we're pretty tame
true. We're
overall.
very tame.
Yes, we really did.
What he's really trying to say is it's your fault.
No, don't say that to the internet. If it becomes sentient, it'll like come for us and
You're
yeah.
welcome.
Yeah, yeah. Eventually. I, for one, welcome our robot overlords.
I continually use that line, and I love it every time.
Is that from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
It's from The Simpsons, I think.
Oh. It sounds like a Hitchhiker's thing. But it also sounds like a Simpsons thing, so
Hitchhiker's humor is probably a level deeper than that, I would say.
mm.
Though Zaphod, I could absolutely see that be a Zaphod Beeblebrock's comment, like as he was being president of the galaxy or whatever his thing
Yeah,
is, just
see?
be like, I welcome our new robot overlords. Though he was pretty derisive of many of them, so
Yeah.
his conversation with the tank is still one of my favorite parts of the entire book series.
Marvin, when he makes that robot like
Yeah.
shut itself down.
What are you gonna do with all those big guns? Marvin, one of the best. I did watch the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad.
You have to be familiar with the source text, I think, for the movie to work. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Though it's one of those source materials where there is no like definitive source material.
Well, shall we get started? I don't know why I'm suddenly sleepy. Maybe
Okay, wake up, D&D. Wake up, wake up.
I like did some physical exertion for once in my life, and my body's like, you should go to
I know,
bed
right?
now.
I mean,
All
come
right.
on,
Thanks,
internet.
body.
Everybody loves Douglas Adams, right? I mean, we can all agree.
Fantastic. All right, let's play some D&D.
Yay!
All right. Well, if you haven't read the summary of the summary from last week is that you have escaped from the city of Dweller's Den, the biggest and only city you've interacted with in the Underdark. You escaped through the sewers. You crossed the farm fields that are on the outskirts of the city and made your way back to the farming village of Beast Spine, a village you had crossed on your way into Dweller's Den. On your way through the first time, you had inadvertently granted them a massive boon by activating an old sigil of the builders, which caused all of the life and farm to flourish, which worked out extremely well for them as they have been prospering ever since. And as you came back into the village, you noticed that they were having a market or fair, and basically just selling massive amounts of food. Primarily, it seemed, to the city of Dweller's Den itself. And you realize, of course, that the farming villages around the city kind of funnel the food into the city, and that's kind of the ecosystem that exists down here. Um, that said, you did notice, Yasi, as you were trying to go on a little bit of a shopping trip, that there were several. Listen, there are some beasties in the walls, and they're making noises.
Someone typing on their keyboard.
You know, we know.
We know, we know.
Matthew,
So,
what are they called? The worshippers of
You got those cherry MXs. That's how it normally sounds when you type.
what are the ones who worship the spiders called?
The
Spider people.
children.
Of who? But they have like
Loth.
Loth. Okay, there it is. Sorry,
you do this.
me.
Yeah,
What did you
perfect.
want me to do? Okay.
That's it. Um, but not in your mouth hole.
Kill me.
Charlie's like, but it's snack time. What do you mean?
I know, I'm like trying to eat and put chapstick on. I just forgot.
It's okay. So you noticed that there were 3 Dwagar that had spider tattoos that were loading up a cart full of food, but that's all they seemed to be doing. You tried to interrogate them, but ran into a language barrier, so you awkwardly handed him hardtack, and he awkwardly handed you a piece of purple fruit. Unclear. Both parties left highly confused from the situation.
I wasn't gonna threaten them, just to be or interrogate them, to be clear.
Wudao, well, you were interrogating the circumstance. You were investigating.
Yes, that's different.
Wudao, you were following around / manserviting for the wizard Balrin, who was trying to hire you for his services. He seems very distracted, as is his nature, very focused on the soul siphon. You tried to pawn him off on the village of Beastbine, a light walk away from the massive threats he faced in Dweller's Den, and he's not so absorbed in his work to realize that that wasn't still a dangerous place for him. You did bounce into the mayor and your favorite resident, if your name is Yasi of the town, Horsey. The two of them partner up well together. And the majority of you ended up, boy howdy, and the majority of you ended up in the inn, purchasing a few rooms. And Kaydren, you gave a little prayer to your god, looking for a little bit of light in this darkest of dark place. And I think that's basically where we left the day. You are still trying to escape from the Underdark. You may or may not be being followed, and you haven't really come up with a plan other than walk your way back out the top. So that's where you're at. Before we wake up in the morning, oh no, dice right here. Hooray. Before we wake up in the morning, I need all of you to roll perception checks for me, please.
Roll initiative
I was like,
in your
Nothing like
sleep.
fighting out of bed.
Well, if you get attacked in your sleep, I'll just take my first round for free.
True. Man. 13.
And you say
13.
perception check.
Yep, perception, please.
Bring up my.
I'm usually so perceptive, but I must be really sleepy and snuggled.
Wait, this is right out of sleeping times? All right, perception.
At least that seems realistic.
This is during the sleeping times.
20, unnatural.
Okay.
so 20, unnatural.
Double 20s. Wudao, what was yours?
13.
13, 13, 12, 20, 20. You all sleep peacefully through the night.
Checks
Morning
out.
breaks.
Seems fine. Who's to
Max is gonna
say?
force us into the Tailspire by whatever the fuck's happening.
I'm not forcing anything. I'm just here to narrate.
Well, it seems I've slept like a baby. I feel well rested. I'm gonna give my spell slots back.
Yep. You are all healed. You get your spell slots back. You have all taken a long rest, and it feels great. You all still smell quite a bit, for what it's worth.
I like how I smell.
Fair enough.
I want more.
Holly's lost her sense of smell a long time ago, so
No, I can
it's
smell
fine.
it, but I prefer to smell like this. I'm like, I can take the smell of Horsey with me on my trip.
There is a bathhouse in this inn, right?
They're not a bathhouse per se, but there is a room that you can bathe in for a slight fee.
Fine. So be it. Just go roll around in some dirt like all the birds do. That's what they always go take a dirt bath like
It's the way.
That's how
Wait. There are literal bird baths, though, so some birds like to just flip water onto themselves. Who is getting cleaned up at the inn there?
Depends on the type of bird you are, I guess.
Well, just I shoot better when my hands are clean.
Okay, all right.
Wait, while they bathe, or I don't know, is everyone bathing? Stinky could be good. I smell e. Well, I was gonna say, I'm not gonna shower. That sounds terrible. I love how I smell. While everyone's showering in the morning, when I go find some breakfast times, can I didn't. Is this like a fruit I recognize? It's a weird fruit, right?
It's weird for you.
It's
You
weird
did
for
not
me.
recognize it when you took a look at it last week.
Before I make some bougie recipe with it, I'm gonna, just because I didn't recognize and I got it from those sketchy spider people. Can I ask are the vendors still out selling their product? I mean,
No.
the time is different in the day now, right? What time is it actually?
So I'm going to say that because you basically went to sleep midday,
Yeah.
I'm going to basically, unless anybody objects, bring you to the morning of the next day just to get you back on schedule.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And so there are no vendors out there anymore this morning?
Nope. We'll say that you use that bath time and stuff as well to kind of roll that forward and make up for those couple of extra hours. So I'll give you some free hours. It seems like that was the fair day or the selling day, and the rest of the people from the village are back out into their fields. There's a little bit of traffic in the town square, but much, much less. The stands, some of them seem to be permanent fixtures, but are not, it's just the table basically, not the fruits or anything on top of them. There's one stall that seems to be a more permanent one that is stocked with food, more like a grocer than like the farmer's market style. So it's just the one that's always there.
Well, since he's out there anyway, and a lot of these people are agricultural, right? Because of what
Very much so.
they have farm, right? So I'm just gonna, before I do anything, just like walk over by him if he's close by. She's like, "Hey, what kind of fruit is this?"
He takes a
I
look
swear
at
to
it.
God, if he charges me to identify this fruit, I'm gonna have to speak to the mayor of this farm. But
You
go
really
ahead.
have turned into D&D Karen, haven't you?
Excuse me, I have to
Darren.
speak to your mayor, not the manager, the mayor.
I don't know what a farm leader is. The
Oh, I thought you were
municipal
gonna make a
leader.
horse pun.
But I would like to point out that you immediately threatened to go to the mayor
Mayor.
before he said anything.
I did. I said that was an aside. That was in my mind. I was like, I swear, and I didn't say that out loud. That's crazy. I wouldn't do that.
Well,
I'm very polite. I didn't say. I want to be clear.
I'm
That was
very
an
polite.
internal monologue I had. Like, I swear, if this
Okay.
guy charges me,
He takes a look at it, pops, grabs it in his hand.
I said pops in his mouth. I was like,
Tops it back, tosses it back to you. Seems fine.
but what is it?
Well, there's a word for it, but it's an undercommon. I don't really know if there's a common word for it.
Is it fancy? Is this like elite fruit or is just meh?
He kind of appraises you for a little bit, and he looks over at the rest of his fruit, and he's like, "Are you interested in buying elite fruit?"
I'm like, no, I've had a bad experience with these vendors, but I just want you. I, I want to know if like when I gave that guy hardtack, like I gave him something that was important to me. So if this was like an avocado during an avocado shortage, that means something different to me than someone giving me like a granny apple or a
Goodness.
gala apple.
Well, there's only one way for you to find out.
And that's why I'm asking this guy if he knows if this is like a bougie fruit or if this is like a lay people fruit.
It is not. It's a fruit.
I know it's a fruit.
All people eat fruit.
Okay. Well, then I'll assume that lol person didn't think anything special of me and just gave me an average fruit. I may or may not eat it. I got the information
Fair enough.
I was inquiring about. Okay.
The rest of you, after a few hours of some nice, surprisingly warmed water, relaxing, feel much cleaner. The staff generously help clean your garments and clothes and wash off what was a steadily increasing odor that you had developed over the last several days of sewer spelunking that you had been doing.
I'm gonna find out that everyone is in the inn, and I'm gonna go there. And as I see Ratscratch clothed and come out of the thing, I'll be like, "Hey, want some breakfast?" And I'll toss him that fruit.
You have no idea what it is.
Eat it. Did you catch it with your mouth and just eat it like an?
Do you want to like try and break the surface of it? Like, how are you gonna do that? Yeah, you with your beak or with your hand?
He's bird.
You bite into an extremely delicious fruit, a little bit like a pear, but it has like a dark, almost black liquid juice that kind of drips out as you bite into it. Very-
As I observe Ratscratch's face, does it give me the? Can I do an insight check on that? Because I don't trust Ratscratch.
Sure.
23.
That's probably why she gave it to you. At this point, I fear what will happen to Yasi's body if she eats any kind of
Anything
fruit.
else?
You should see my bathroom times. I'm just
Gotta
kidding.
clam up for days.
There's a lot. No, it's just constipation. There is no bathroom time. I just kind of sit there. I never poop.
If
I should
anybody
probably do
is
I should
listening
do a
from the
con
chat,
check. I
I
should
have
probably do
serious
con saves
regrets
for my
DMing.
I should do con saves for my
We're
constipation.
not doing
Oh,
con
no.
saves for your ability to
Con
Being
constipation
constipated for a
today.
long time can kill you.
you need a constipation roll,
Saying.
please.
Well, good. Now, if I need to kill you at random, I know what I use as the
Please
cause.
roll for
true,
bowel
that's true.
obstruction.
Okay. Anyway, I rolled a
Natural
23
one.
to get an insight on whether or not Ratscratch is like enamored with this fruit.
Do you want to roll to not tell the truth there, or do you want to
He
just
told
tell
me
the
the
truth?
truth. He wanted to.
Deception.
I think to myself, maybe those worshippers of Lolth were trying to send me a message. If they gave me a fruit that got Ratscratch like so buzzed out from joy. And then I'm kind of sad because I wanted it to be bad and that's why I gave it to Ratscratch, but it was like my plan was foiled. But then that also means that the bird knows. Anywho, I give him a thumbs up, like, ugh, okay. And then
Behind Ratscratch, Disciple Hammersblow gives you an enthusiastic thumbs up for giving such a good gift to his lord.
I'm like, you need to step up your game, Hammersmith.
Hammersblow. And he gives
Until
you a little
you,
wing salute.
I'm like, okay.
That name blows.
And then I'll ask,
Oh no.
that's
It is
the
now kind
song.
of
That's what you guys sing at the sermon, you know?
that's what
Like,
he plays as their battle march into
na-na-na.
Eomegan.
That's
No, that's what he
hilarious.
does. No. That's what he does to summon his followers.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Oompa Loompas. The little. Oh, sir, what can I give you?
So
Well,
call him repeat.
I'll tell Ratscratch to connect us with. I'm like, where's the rest of the group? Let's all finally get together and.
Are you waving a literal bird feather to taunt Ratscratch right now?
Yeah, but the tip of the peacock feather fell off, so now it's just like a
Like
weird.
ripped. You
This
ripped
will
out
be
one of.
Ratscratch if he
Yeah,
keeps
my
Yeah.
God,
giving
you
me
ripped off
sass.
one of Ratscratch's wing feathers. What's wrong with you?
Talked about hurting each other already.
Oh dear.
This is a subtle threat.
Nom, nom, nom.
I was like, and I thought I was the savage, but okay. Yeah, I was like, maybe you should go back in the shower and wash that off. Maybe you need another shower.
Thankfully,
This
he's a
is
bird, so it kind of just drops to the ground. It
off
doesn't really
the.
run down his chin.
That's true, and his
Because he
feathers might
doesn't
have
have
that.
one, really.
Either way, well, I'll try to It seems like all of our homies are in this area, so I'm just gonna wait for everyone so we can regroup, and I'll tell them that I saw the worshippers of Lol hanging out in the market, and they gave me a really nice fruit. I think they're trying to recruit me. Actually,
Now that you mention it,
yes, I think so. I'm like, oh
Literally
shit.
just outs yourself straight up.
I was like, this bird is smarter than Calla says he is or suggests he is, and she's always calling
No,
him
he's a dumb
stupid
bird.
bird.
Don't worry about it. It's
I was like, I
fine.
always thought he was stupid because Calla called him stupid bird, but he put one and one together. A very simple. It's a very simple one and one. I'm like, oh, we have two smart birds. We have the wise Wudao owl and Ratscratch. Owl man.
I'm not a
Yeah.
bird.
I call you Owl Man. I can't remember why, because you're wise. Metaphorical bird. But I was like, yeah, but I knew it
Oh.
was gonna be something good. They were
Cool story.
It's fine. You said it's the best fruit you've ever had. Oh shit, are you feeling okay? Are you
Am
feeling
I
okay?
dying?
Matthew, is he feeling okay? Did you do a con save?
do you want to do a medicine check on him, or do you want me to tell him how he feels?
I'll tell him how he feels.
Seems fine.
You seem fine. You look good. No, so I approached them just to make small chatter, very unassuming. And it was really sketch because for the number of people that were there, they were buying so much food. So I was like, what the hell? So I decided to investigate and I tried to talk with them, but I couldn't speak the language. And I offered them some hardtack to show that I was chill. And they gave me this fruit. And I knew it was probably good fruit because why would you give me poisonous fruit if I give you hardtack? Like, you're going to give me the best you've got, equal trade and all, and I just wanted you to have something nice,
Am I
you
in on
know?
this conversation or no?
Yeah.
Is this
Yep.
like in front of
Yeah, I'm
everybody?
just telling everyone. And I'm like, all
Basically,
that
you're
to
at the
say,
front of the inn, and you guys are kind of so. Yassi's kind of standing in front of the inn. Uh, Ratscratch kind of in the doorway, and the rest of you are kind of circled around behind. They've all participated, so you're close enough to hear, definitely.
Were they loading all those fruits into a cart?
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they just gave you a fruit off the cart that they had
It might
purchased.
it might have been. I can't remember now. I wasn't paying attention. But either way, we should be a little careful because those Lalt worshippers they're loitering about. And they were being kind of discreet about the spider symbol on their hand. So I don't think they're necessarily super out in the open. So they may be around here and we wouldn't know. It was the fruit stands that were selling these yesterday are gone this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sad days. I just don't know if we should stick around here for long. We should probably just get moving and grooving. They probably
Do you
charged you a
need to
lot
let
for
any
it.
of your followers know where you're going, or are they just gonna
Oh.
uh,
He looks at you. He stands a little straighter. I shall always trust the bird's word, and I'm happy to be the wing that bears that message.
Yours.
Wow.
I mean, don't you
Excellent.
just want to leave like a little post-it to the flock? This is where
Uh,
we're going? No? Oh, okay. Well.
Just make sure you get away from the siphon.
Okay, that works. Just as long as you're doing it away from the box.
Oh, is that why
so
we did a perception check? Was the box trying to like creep on us or something?
Oh,
We'll never know. Anyway.
we'll never know.
are you going to give me any particular message to deliver?
Hmm. You mean manifesto? Ah, good. There you go.
Ratscratch just stares off into space for a little while. Disciple Hammerslow is just
You just see
standing
his
there
eyes go in two
wrapped.
different directions. Oh wait, they go in different directions. Never mind.
I'm sorry. I just looked over at Nerali and it looks like she's writing this really big
Right?
message.
Yeah, the long scribble, scribble, scribble.
That's amazing.
I was like hitting myself in the face with it. So I like your like interpretation so much more.
You're like really into this D&D thing. Your quill.
Yep.
Tip tip.
As you're talking, you notice this sense of like creeping dread or panic seem to get into Disciples to Hammer's blow face more and more. Like he starts to anxiously shift around, and like this look of like doubt starts to cross his face. Very inspiring, my lord. You wouldn't happen to have copies of your note, would you? It's quite a lot.
I'm now the bird is the word
Just
historian.
hardtack, 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 hardtack.
More hardtack recipes.
He looks greatly relieved when you confirm that he has a copy and he doesn't have to memorize everything that you just said. I was thinking more when you trusted me in this that you would just say like they're going that way, and I would point them along the way path with them. But certainly that quite message, yes, I would be happy to deliver that. It certainly makes sense for a bird to rise, my lord. Um, How long exactly should I wait here, my lord? Just to be clear. Very well. I would be happy to wait first.
Oh my god.
Do you have that
He
much gold?
never has to work
I thought
ever.
you were robbed.
He has 11 gold.
He processes that and gives you. He looks at you a little bit and he's like, hands you back 9 gold.
He has to play his tithe.
But the bird gives away. Are we all the bird? I'm getting confused by these metaphors, my lord.
Oh, one of
It's
the
the
feathers.
meaning, not the
Fine.
metaphor.
Fine. It was a
Right.
bird of 4.
As always,
The
bird is the
differ.
word. The word is the
Bird
bird.
is not the
Where
word.
is the word, guys?
Gives you a little wing salute and marches back to his room. Kind of turns around and walks right back to the innkeeper, and you can hear him kind of vaguely start to negotiate for a room for a longer period of time.
Wait, Matthew. Keep an eye on that one.
The innkeeper, very first Kinku they've ever seen, does like a little wave back at you, like not sure what the wing motion that you were doing is, but does their best to imitate it.
I have a story question. So I have in my notes here that we have letters between Lolth worshippers and Hollis. Is Hollis the one who hired us to save him?
No,
No.
that is Mentrier.
Okay, I wish I would remember. Okay, Mentrier is the one.
Correct.
Did we suspect Hollis?
No,
You not only suspect, but you have
we,
proof
yes,
of
we have
Hollis.
proof of Hollis.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Hollis
Thank you.
is the lord of Valorsfall, the city that was on the surface, whose guards
Was he the
attacked
one
you and
hosting the
betrayed
party?
you. Yes.
Yep.
And remember,
Okay.
as you were fleeing down, his guards like gave away that he was in on the plot.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. I know I remember, and I was telling Matthew earlier, I was like, sometimes the problem with the delays, I forget what the big picture story was, because, okay.
You know what? I can do. It's been a while. I can do a kind of a big
No,
picture
yeah.
write up for you.
All right, so it was Mentrier who hired us.
Yes.
We have reason to believe Hollis is
Who
the
you
one.
stole his magical flower from and then hid
Oh,
in the
it's hidden
cushions
somewhere in
the
a seat
frickin'
cushion.
thing.
Who even knows what happened to it? It's probably
It's
rotting
in the
away.
guard tower where you left
It is. It's in the waiting chair. Hopefully they didn't find it. Anyway, so
Waiting for you.
Yeah, Hollis is the one who is we
Nobody
suspect.
checks sofa cushions.
The letters between Lolth and Hollis, were they conspirating, like co-conspirators?
Yes.
From what we could tell. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the Lolth worshippers don't like Kopeth.
You are also forgetting an important detail, which is
Mhm.
all of the criminals that you've run into and you have had that kind of Loth tattoo on them, and you've suspected that the kind of the gangs or the underground in Dweller's Den have that tattoo a lot, and most of the thugs that worked for the researchers had that tattoo as
Yeah,
well.
they took over. The Lolth people took over the worshiper, the researchers.
You got it.
And so, final question then: was Kopeth the high wizard? Like, some leaders have like a wizard advisor. Was Kopeth affiliated as one of them?
Mentrier.
Mentrier.
For
Okay, he
Mentrier,
was
yeah.
Mentrier's person.
He's Mentrier's man, like right-hand
Maybe.
man that he used all
Maybe.
the time.
Okay.
You saw him in close advisement to
advisor
Mentrier more
role.
than once. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That actually is kind of coming back to me now. And
Yep.
the sigils we saw that were being traded back and forth in the Underdark were the ones for Hollis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm good. Thank you guys for this little
No, it's
meta
anytime you
overlord
need a little
story.
meta-
Because I feel like
meta
now that we're
memory.
going back to the surface soon, I want to just. Okay. I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Continue, please.
You guys have been side questing for so long, Norali needed to read the quest log for the main quest again to remember what it was
I
about.
know, but there's like all this stuff with the
It's
four.
been 5 years, okay?
I wanted
I know,
to write
right?
it down. Anyway, go on. Please proceed with the.
I mean, and as I recall, it's not just Hollis, but the other two lords were kind of interlinked as well with other kind of side deals, as I recall, right? Like it's not just Hollis that's the betrayer. It's like kind of all of the lords have been betrayers.
They all have shady
So-
shit and reasons,
Well, they all have
right?
shady things, but like
So
Yeah.
you knew of 3 potential people that were attacked. Remember,
Right.
Mentor originally was like, "Hey, I think somebody's going to assassinate me at this ball. Like,
yup.
I need some protection. Can you guys investigate?" And he gave you the list of 3 names. But later on, when you were traveling, you met the lady in the inn with the zombies, Kaydren, and you like befriended her, the one that was like the pirate.
Yeah.
In her earlier life, and she told
Leona.
the surface.
Yeah, it's Leona. Yeah, Lady Leona. Yep.
The surface had basically devolved into like gave you an update that there was a civil war basically. So about half
Breaking out.
lords,
Yeah.
you think potentially are supporting this, or maybe less than half. The information was pretty spotty at the time.
Yes.
But she indicated to you at that point that the main reason they needed the evidence from the Underdark was to rally the kind of remaining lords to the side of the king to try and help save,
Yep.
and lead to more war support. So you're carrying a very crucial thing that may tip the tide of that war.
No big,
Yes.
no biggie.
But you have fog of war problems all over. You don't
Yep.
know what's going on the surface at all. It's been a long time since you've got an update there. So, and the update you got was only very patchy.
And
But
as
that-
I recall, it's been about 4 days, 5 days, 4 to
No,
5
much
days.
longer. The last
Has it
time you
been?
got an update was when you were in the crystal area and you had run into her and you
Oh,
kind of
for an
set her
update,
back
but
up.
since we went there, it's only been like 5 days, right? Since we
I
were in
think
the crystal area.
it's 7 or 8 at this point, but yeah,
Okay.
not too long. Because
Yeah,
you
I
rested
mean, we're
at
still like in
Beastmine.
a week's
You
worth
took
of
a
time.
couple of rests
Granted,
on the way in.
yes.
You took a couple of rests on the way out, and then back in.
Also, riding in what's his face's chariot. I don't know how timey wimey that shit got when we went to the demon realm and then came back and yada
Good question.
yada. And in addition, when we ended up getting sucked into Vampire World, I don't know if you're counting that as other time or if that was just like weird.
The best you could tell when
Weird
you came
warp
out of that
time.
was it was
Nothing.
about 24 hours total.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh.
there was some time that passed there, but not
Well,
anywhere
that would
close
be a
to
day.
like.
So
Yeah.
okay, good. Good. To
Yeah.
know.
So it's it like you said, you have some gaps in a linear time there, but it's somewhere between a week and 2 weeks.
This was going to lead into a question that I wanted to ask the innkeeper too. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, innkeep. I was wondering if you had any connections to people that could expedite a trip up to the surface. If you have any connections or know any shortcuts that could get us up there a little bit quicker, off the beaten path. Or if you knew somebody that might know of a little bit of a faster way up.
Yeah, right. I mean, he walked over to the innkeeper as well, so he's right there. Okay. The innkeeper is very kindly towards you and warmer than you would otherwise expect, and says, "You folks aren't in any trouble, are you?"
Oh, not at all. We're just looking to get to the surface quickly. We have some business to attend up there.
I don't mean to be presumptuous, but are your pockets heavy?
Well, they don't have to be, so.
Well, for those of us that have lighter pockets, unfortunately, the fastest way up is our 2 feet. For those of us that have the coin, the answer's right there.
But that's not off the beaten path. Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry.
These people.
I was thinking about that in my head.
All they want is money.
No, he's talking about a smuggler group that could take us up a little bit
Oh, I
faster.
thought he wanted us to pay him.
No.
I just assumed that
I mean, I
everyone in
don't
the
assume
city
that that's
wants
what
to.
he was hinting at. I was hinting at that there's a group that probably can take you up,
Yeah, but also for money.
but for money, yes.
It is this town. They're gonna ask us for like 200 gold
It
just to
is
do it because they're
any
assholes.
town ever.
No, this one.
The fastest way, if you're walking, of course, is to get a mount so that you aren't the one doing the walking, and
Sure.
then try and take the elevator up. Skip as much of the wind as you can, and then be careful on which exit you choose. There are some inns and cities along the wind itself. It's always wise to ask there what routes are currently safe, as the situation that far from Dweller's Den can be more dangerous, especially for those travelers coming from the surface.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as a memory refresher, you guys have been to it's a village and an inn on the way up the wind that you know.
Yeah, we
you
went to
you were at the
the
Rock Tavern.
treetop.
Yeah, the
Yep.
treetop is inside the city of Glittersteep.
Yep.
Remember, you went to the Glittersteep mines.
And that's halfway up, as I recall.
Just about.
Yeah.
Coming back.
Oh.
I imagine you folding a paper plane and just like
Okay. From the top of the wind. I'm sure that'll get there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you
The
could
bird
just
thinks
tell him to, in a day, head up to the treetop, and if you're not at the treetop, you could just continue up the wind.
don't question the bird.
You can leave them a message there, and then they can find you if we need to continue the journey. Well, I don't know that.
Can I also ask the barkeep while
Are
we're
you
kind of
whispering that into my ear, or or are you thinking that?
while they contemplate message to the people, can I ask the barkeep like how often they see people with spider tattoos meandering here in this farm?
Frequently. They often mind their own business and know not to cause any trouble here.
Okay. I was gonna ask
Everyone
if they
has to
were.
eat.
Okay. I was gonna ask if they'd ever been known to cause trouble, but it seems like.
You be careful of them outside of this little hamlet of ours, though, Missy.
Oh, thanks. Seems like my mom. Very maternal character.
Is there an easy path to bypass the lift? I mean, we don't mind going off the beaten path, but
I've heard tale of people that have gone through the cracks that have formed or have done scaling and climbing to get around the wind, but
not sure.
really it's a one path up, one path down for the most part. The elevator exists primarily because one of the cracks in the path is so bad and so dangerous. Only a fool would take it.
Speak for yourself.
really, really big fool.
The innkeeper just smiles at you, again, not understanding what you are saying. He looks kind of for help towards you, Kaydren, like,
Oh, don't mind him.
ruffle your feathers. Do mind me. DM note: you took this path.
Yes, that's the path up the line. Yes, that's why. Like, that's why I was like, "Don't worry about it. We've already taken it." Good to know. I appreciate you taking the time to look.
So should we
Do
get
you have
smuggled out?
who would your contact be for the heavy pocket sway?
Most innkeepers have a second lockbox around here that contains a set of coins and various passphrases that are useful when presented at any of the coin establishments down here in the Underdark. That's the way in.
How much does that run?
Well, it depends on what you're looking for.
Just passage upward.
Passage
Nothing
or
crazy.
passage a guide or passage protection? Or what exactly are you looking for?
What's the pricing on the passage protection, and we'll make an assessment from there.
It depends. Most of the folks that are willing to provide their services base their pricing on who they're protecting and who's threatening them.
We can protect ourselves. I think we just need like a guide who can maybe get us a discreet pathway.
Again, I'm just looking for the pricing. Then I
That's
know.
true. That's true.
I'm
I'm
not
like,
making a
it's
commitment
probably
here.
gonna
I
be
just want to
500
know.
gold.
I'm sorry,
menu?
Master Cleric. I didn't mean to confuse you. We, the innkeepers, merely act as the go-betweens.
Yes.
So
arbiters of the coin. Yes, I
the
understand.
coin I can pass to you without charge. And if you end up hiring their services later on, the coin is returned to me with some small fee for doing so.
Oh, sure.
So
absolutely.
you work out the actual costs once you arrive at the tavern.
Oh,
Now,
absolutely.
I warn you, the coin
Super nice.
Has the name
Big
for a
into
reason.
no
negotiations?
shy negotiators.
Wait,
I'm
I'm
just
pretty
gonna
sure.
interject
Well,
here and be
we
like,
have a coin, but I don't remember.
You have a couple.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure we've got another one. I'm pretty sure I have one.
I have one.
You
Wudao
have no, I
definitely
know.
has one.
Wudao has one, but I'm pretty sure we have a second one, if I'm not mistaken.
where did y'all get these coins?
We
orcs
collected
gave me
them
one.
along the way. Well, yeah, the orcs
Oh.
gave him one, but I think we've collected a second one.
And as a reminder on what these coins do, so they act as sort of like account passes at the coin.
Mhm.
And then there, you know, because you got this information from the orcs, that there are two phrases that have to be spoken, two phrases that can be spoken with them. The first phrase is a bait phrase or a trap phrase, where it tells the people at the coin that this person acquired this coin illegally or against the will of the account holder. And that is very bad if that happens for the person trying to present it. And the other one is the real passphrase, which will get you access to everything that they have stored. And it's sort of like the safe banking method that most of the people in the Underdark use, because you can't just pile on a ton of gold and walk through the Underdark, because you're not going to go very well. But you do an exchange here or there, and Yasi saw that they have teleportation circles, so it's a way for you to access your stuff without having to carry it through the Underdark. So they have a difficult thing to keep everybody's goods safe, but they make quite a bit of money and charge quite a bit for doing so. So they're a powerful organization here in the Underdark.
I do have in my notes, pouch with one special coin. So that's one thing that is in my. Okay, cool. Well, we should be good in that regard then. Okay. Well, I appreciate you.
I think that coin is not a coin from
Not the one. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the one you got when you first got onto the wind. You found kind of a little hidden altar with like ancient offerings, and you found a coin in that offering piece
Oh, okay.
and kept that. So I think that's where that one came from.
Well, I did also prior to that put out my alms box, and that ended up getting some coins too.
No,
I forget if it was in there.
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
that if that, I'll have to check my notes. That's from quite a while ago. But if I'm remembering
was.
correctly, it's from that. You found basically like a hidden altar from the builders that had been covered for who knows how long, and inside were like random pieces of metal and then like one special coin. So I think, but I'll confirm that for you.
Gotcha.
But if you do have a coin for the coin network, you will need the phrase to go with it.
Okay. Then maybe I don't have that.
I think you guys have another set of coin. I think you
thought
got
we
one
did
at the
too.
Rock Tavern from one of the guys you killed.
Does Norelli have it because she like snuck around in the coin?
No, she literally
No.
shapeshifted and snuck around.
Mm-mm.
But
checked my
somebody has
inventory,
it,
but I
and
didn't
I
see
think
it.
you only have one phrase, and you don't know whether that's
We
the right
don't know what the
phrase or not.
phrase is for that one.
You have
yeah.
a phrase, but you don't know whether it's the good phrase or the bad phrase,
Ah.
if I remember correctly. But I'll check
then
the
we-
notes on that too.
That's fine. We appreciate the time. We'll make our way up the wind. It should be good.
The tavern keeper nods and he reaches under his bar and he pulls out several pre-wrapped packages. It looks like it's fruits and two decent size half kegs that he hands over. And he says, on behalf of Beast Spine, thank you again for all that you've done for us. May these ease your journeys back to the surface.
What did he just give us?
Oh, you're too
A
kind.
bunch of food
Supplies.
and some drink.
No, gross. You don't.
But I
like
can't
it.
get a goddamn
You're gonna
potion,
hate
huh?
it. Yucky.
Yucky.
But when he
Yucky.
offered,
Yucky,
wait,
yucky, real food. Eek.
does the innkeep offer us this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, oh, but I guess we can't be bothered to get a potion, huh?
You really know how to charm him, huh?
He's like, yeah, you can get potions. They're for sale across the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, for like 200 gold.
Yeah. Well,
Potions
that's
are
how much
expensive
that
down
costs.
here. It's
So is surviving. So is
I give
getting
you
good
some
health.
of my
those two
tactics
things.
to make you
Those two
stop.
things are very connected. Potions are expensive because it is dangerous down here.
Yes.
All of us who live here know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we know that because we kept you alive. But
Yeah.
thank you.
Thanks, Yasi.
It was just
We're
very
sorry
rude.
about her.
Sorry, she
bird
slept in a barn
standing
last
right
night.
behind
Let's
her, just
just
going,
go.
"Wow."
Oh my
That's the
goodness.
nicest part about her.
They're
It's
lucky I
kind.
slept in a barn. That was quite generous of me.
Yeah, it might have been.
No,
it
she
might
should
have
sleep
been you.
outside. It's
As you
fine.
see
You
the
don't know
straw
me.
in her hair, you're just like, hmm.
You
The
guys all
tavern
smell
keeper
really good,
looks
and I just smell
over
awful.
and looks at you and also reaches under his counter and lifts up and puts a bucket of like dirty water and he's like, do you want to take that for her?
No,
I
I
don't
thought he was
know.
gonna give me potions. I'm not carrying that. That's too heavy. Okay.
You can add a bucket of dirty in water to your inventory for now then.
Gross.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Ew.
And then if anybody's taking the drink and the food, they can do so.
Obviously.
Always
I'll
Gotta leave
take
the
some.
drink. I know.
So
All
are we
right, it's
going
a
to
fresh
the
day.
tavern now?
Hmm? We're in the tavern. We're exiting.
Or
well,
where are
we
we
were
supposed
out.
to go with this coin?
Do you want to? Okay. Anyway. Okay. I guess we're gonna start heading up towards the upper tier then. All right. We'll take the. We'll head towards the crystalline path.
Okay.
Since we know what we are now, we're not like trying to figure it out. So
Yeah.
You all gonna take the main road?
let me perception check to make sure nobody's like freaking
Sure.
gonna gang rush the inn while we're here. Nope, that's a natural one. I don't see nothing. Everything looks
Seems
good.
fine.
Right, let's
Looks
go.
like a normal city.
Roll out.
Can we all do one, or is it just
No, just one.
Nope.
okay?
Okay. You guys start to make your way down the road. This is a familiar road to you. This is one that you traversed on the way into Beast Spine.
As we proceed, though, can I ask the group if they think it'd be beneficial to have a pass without trace on us?
Not at this juncture, no. I don't think.
Okay.
I'm
unless
also
we're-
still carrying this object that
I
will
would have
cause
stepped away
everything
this
to...
Yeah.
time. I would
Would
have
you
stepped
have-
away.
That's
But
why
you
she
have-
asked.
I thought
first.
about it. I thought about it.
Also, Thalarin's coming with us.
But it could have been a good thing.
Thalarin's coming with us.
Dalaran is coming with you.
Okay.
Yes.
He's going wherever.
No, Horsey didn't want
There's
to
no
leave. I
horse
asked
with us.
him.
There's a horse outside.
There's
But
a-
not with us.
I asked Horsey if Horsey wanted to come with me, and he said he liked it here because there's a lot of food.
He said, nay.
He did. He was like,
He voted
nay.
nay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope.
You okay over there, Ryan?
As you guys are walking, I
Before
will
we go, can I
ask.
just? Oh, go ahead.
Classic.
Yeah. What did you want to do
I
before
just
you go?
wanted to swing by like some sort of like item salespersons and just get
There's one shop
another.
basically across
Yeah.
the way.
I'm just
Yasi
looking to
went
get
there
an
last time.
additional like coin pouch to kind of split certain items together. That's all.
Okay.
Just buy
Like
a
just
second
literal coin pouch size.
literal coin pouch.
It's got two different versions. One's a cloth version, unknown material. The other one's a hide material, unknown as well.
Okay. Question. Also, I had that pouch with the one special coin. Would that be big enough, or is that like literally a tiny one coin pouch?
I would say that the pouch that had the coin was a coin
Regular pouch.
So
Oh, then we're good. Then we're good.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I'm gonna split a couple things into that pouch then. So okay.
Okay.
Cool.
If it's relevant, just let me know and I will acknowledge that you did that.
It's a lot of the stuff for the spider peoples and researchers and all of that
Okay.
sort of stuff, and I'm putting it together, kind of coalescing into one group is what I'm basically doing there. Because
Makes
I've
sense to
got
me.
a few pieces of researcher kit that
What is our marching order?
To the crystalline path.
I can probably
Oh,
oh
order.
no, because it's going to be in
Right.
nature. It's going to be whoever's got the best pathfinding. I think probably.
Isn't Calla? She has like the.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can't get lost. You know exactly where we are,
Correct.
kind of thing.
And Calla is stealthy, so she can kind of also like
Stealthy's book.
do good scouting.
Okay, so you guys have Calla up front being your
It's your
leader.
strongest person up front. Mm-hmm.
And what else are you doing?
Our drunkest person in front. I'm just kidding.
I'm not drunk yet. As I'm drinking from my flask that I've
The rest
gotten
of you
from
just
them.
gonna ball up and walk down behind her, or are you guys? What's your
I mean,
formation?
I'll be the
I'm
second,
keeping
third
what does-
person.
Kaydren in front of me, and I'm following just behind him, probably in the middle, I would assume.
Okay.
I'll be right
That's the
behind
thing.
Wudao.
Kaydren, Ratscratch, who's bringing up the rear. All right, Ratscratch, Calla, I need a perception check for the first part of this walk.
I was gonna say, actually, I could take the rear too if you need,
You
because
can
I
both
am
do
the
it. It's
loudest.
not a single file circumstance if you don't want it to be.
Oh, I am not the. I am neither the sneakiest nor the quietest of like walkers. So
Yes. Ah, negotiation open, sir. So you rightly recognize that while on the surface, for speed and cost, most rural areas designate their fields and keep their livestock with wooden fences. The reverse is true in the Underdark. So there are a majority of fairly low walls that are not built for aesthetics. They're not built for defense. They're built primarily as markers to show what goes where and to occasionally keep livestock in. That said, the constructors of these walls, their sloppiest work is still very, very good. No. Very famous for not using mortar. Absolutely. Absolutely. So mending is used to repair items.
Yes. Yeah.
So what I would let you do is find a break or broken part of the stone wall, and without using the pebbles, but just holding the feather in the spot, mend it such that it mends around the feather. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Where are you standing?
No, you're in the back, so the group can keep going. Y'all can keep going forward. You can
Yeah,
do.
I
You
probably
can
didn't
stop.
notice you stopped unless you said something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay. I think you can't limit it to the person. Acceptable. Okay. Okay. East. Okay. 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 You made a talking feather hole.
So like I'll let the group kind of continue, and I'm always like kind of like in between, kind of doing the elastic,
Yeah.
like not letting the bird get out of vision, and then
You are
continuing.
successfully hurting the cats so far, Kaydren.
Well,
Speaking of the
Does that make
cats,
me leader of the cats?
it's certainly the one
Temporarily?
furthest in the
Mine-
front.
am I Mr. Mr. Mistopheles?
Okay. Second part, we're around early afternoon now, or post meal time, I would say. We'll make you do another check for those up front and those in the back. Perception, please.
You want me to do it, Ryan, this time, or?
I'll
23.
roll
Rolling my
for-
balls, so.
Oh, I rolled 23. As
You
well.
don't get to roll.
Oh, I thought you wanted people to roll all throughout the front, back, and middle or something.
Not the middle, just the front and the back.
Well,
She's
I'm
like
in the
also
back.
the
I'm right in
middle,
front of
and people
Ratscratch.
named Yasi.
13
I'm
for
second
the,
from
for
the
the
back.
bird.
That's pretty much back.
23. You're very, very far still, probably the rest of the afternoon, from the base of the wind, which you remember is a coin outpost, the one that
Mhm.
Yasi was in and that you have interacted with the most so far. And you are being careful looking for threats close by. But something with a 23 catches your eye. A dust cloud, perhaps, around the tavern. I'm sorry, around the coin that far off.
Like just
I
a
explain.
localized cloud?
I
Very
explain what I'm
localized.
to the
Once
group.
pointed out, the rest of you can catch that too.
You're welcome.
Very, very small for you to see right now because it is very far away. But it is quite noticeable once your attention is drawn to it.
What did we spot? I'm sorry.
Like a cloud, dust,
Oh, a
or
dust cloud.
some other
Localized.
gaseous cloud around the coin, which is where you're headed to. Happens to be where
Oh.
the wine starts going up.
The roads,
Thoughts?
were they very like dirt and rocky and sand-like, or were they just like pure stone?
So the road is more the further you get away from either the river or
Mhm.
Dweller's Den itself, the more stone it becomes. Basically, the river is bringing dirt down,
Sure.
and that's what made the city get founded there. It's what gives the farm the ability to grow.
Mhm.
But the further you get away from the city and where the water is falling in from the ceiling, the less dirt has spread out over there. So you get more patches of just stone. So when you were leaving Beast Spine, the road was mainly like dirt. As you're getting closer to the edge, it's becoming more stone and less dirt.
I was just trying to see if like would it be a ton of people gathering, because that would typically kick up a lot of dust.
Certainly a possibility.
Uh-oh.
They're having a dance
Well,
party.
yeah, right. Oh
We walk
man,
faster.
those are my favorite.
We start conga lining to the
Wait,
point.
wait.
Oh wait, we're coming.
It's us. Ratscratch the experience.
It's
We out
not. It's
ourselves.
not a conga party without the Ratscratch experience.
They're like, wait, aren't they the ones people are looking for? It's okay.
No, the other Ratscratch experience.
Yeah, we're the one you're not looking for, but we're just
Pulling
trying to
pulling
party.
up in a conga line.
Yeah.
Ah.
There they are. Welcome.
No, we're not coming with a battle cry.
That's what you think. Conga into battle. That's fine.
Okay, so you see that. Do you want to keep proceeding? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, we're far enough out that I don't think it's any concern at this current moment.
That's
but-
what you think.
Yeah, it's certainly as you march on, the closer you get to the wall, the more the cloud grows. It doesn't go very high up into the air, and it is kind of localized around that coin tavern. Basically dead in front of you.
But we can't see any additional like movement around the area or anything. It's just the cloud. And it's very localized, what you're telling me. It's not like a weird
Yeah.
dust devil kind of. It is like a pluming cloud.
Yeah, like a constant disturbance. Whereas a fire would be constantly going up into the air, it seems like
Yeah.
there's constantly something that's kind of swirling it around and then it's
Wait.
dispersing before it goes up.
Can
So
I
it
do a
doesn't seem
nature
to be going
check
up. Yes,
to
you
see
may.
if I would recognize what might be causing something like this?
Sure.
23.
You have seen things similar to this before, but on a much smaller scale. But the dirt pattern, that's a very good roll. The dirt pattern triggers a memory that you had from being in the forest on one of the driest summers of a herd of
I
deer
remember that
crossing
summer,
a
yeah.
dry stream bed, and the dirt that they were kicking up as they circled and ran and jumped up and down made this kind of like constantly swirling but very low cloud.
So it was something that was like a cause and effect of not necessarily climate or weather, but the stampeding or moving about of.
Constant kicking up of dirt is what you remember there.
Okay, I'll let the group know. I've seen a dust storm like that, and it was because there were a bunch of deer like physically kicking up sand into the atmosphere. And so there could be some sort of tap dancing contest. No, I'm just kidding. But we should be careful. Can I put, how far are we? Are we like a, no, I don't actually mean, I was saying that to troll, but I say that it could
I'm
be some
wondering if
kind
it's
of
the researchers could be finally making their move on the coin. Remember, they were kind of at odds with each other.
I suggest cast
It is
a dust
it is
off.
quite the
Can we
dust up.
dust off our dancing shoes?
Oof.
Would
Matthew, have you
I think I
tapped
just
out?
took a point of damage mentally.
wait, so are we like
People
maybe an
certainly are about to.
hour? How
So-
far are we walking distance from that location?
About an hour and a half, which equates to about 4 to 6 miles away. So you're still talking a very long distance.
Okay, I'm gonna say maybe as we get closer, I think we should continue our approach because we can't just stay here. but we can't go there. Maybe what we can do is like as we're like 30 minutes out and before we're perceived, I can cast Pass Without a Trace on us, and we can approach more stealthily as a
Sure.
group.
Also, could I use my survival and do a survival check to see if I can find a path around that's a little bit more not on the like just on the road?
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, it's magic.
That might be
Can
alarming
you
though if
fly
like a
all of
bird
us, or can you
flies up
just fly
next to it.
yourself? Just
That's
you.
less
Oh,
helpful, bird.
I don't know if that's going to help the group, Ratscratch. I'm glad you remembered that, though.
Good
Go
job,
ahead and give
buddy.
me
Good
that
job.
roll, Kaydren.
I give
Oh,
you some lint
the
from my
survival.
pocket. I like put it down for you.
Oh, by the way.
Excellent.
What'd you get?
23.
So 23 gives you you kind of pause, you
24,
take a lay of
sorry.
the land. You certainly recognize that the approaches to the base could be a lot better than walking straight down the main road that has a high visibility on it. You could easily hop these low stone walls, travel along them, get through this outskirts. You're going to have to, because of where the wine starts, walk up that way, unless, as you start to look at it, you think maybe, just maybe, if you split away from it, you're close enough to where it begins to ramp up that you might be able to scale it without walking up the first part as a way to bypass the base of the ramp.
But we would need climbing gear, correct?
Maybe. You're looking at it. It looks very rough hewn. It looks like there might be handholds. Kind of hard to tell from this distance, but you rolled quite well with that survival roll. So you were looking for these alternate paths, and you're thinking maybe with rope and some luck that could work. But you'd have to get up there and give it a try.
Because he can fly.
I can fly. Yeah, that might work.
You guys want to keep approaching, or do you want to take one of the side paths now?
Let's take that side path towards the climb up.
Okay. Give me a Yasi. Are you gonna do a Pass Without a Trace?
Only until I think that the side path, because it has an hour-long duration. So if the side path is super long, and
Well, so there's imagine you're at a tip of a cone, and they're in the middle of the base. So as you start to branch away, you're still getting closer to them and risking being spotted by if there's anybody out there.
well,
So
we're currently like an hour and a half, right? So I'm
no,
still
you're
not
about
gonna.
half an hour now. You got closer when you started to do that. So
Oh, and what was the side path? Is just like an alternative path.
climbing.
It's
climbing
climbing
up the
up,
first
right?
step.
Instead of
Yeah.
like.
So it's walking through the farm fields, avoiding the straight road, and then climbing up.
And we're at the climbing part now.
No, you're at the we're about to leave the road part.
And that's gonna be like, it'd say 30 minutes till we get there.
Correct.
Then yeah, I would cast, but I would walk away from the siphon. I think I cast it on myself.
Learning. Look at us.
And then
Anybody that's nearby. So if you guys want to take advantage of that when you roll what is about to be this stealth check, you have to be close to Yasi, 30 feet, I believe.
30
Otherwise,
feet, yeah.
don't add 10, and then just give me your stealth rolls, please.
Right now?
Oh, yep. Because you're going to try and make your way, not obviously, to the...
29, baby. I am invisible.
Is that with the plus 10?
Yeah, that's with the plus 10. Oh, actually,
20.
with the plus 10, I'm like... And my modifier. 31.
Nice.
Kaydren?
Kaydren?
22.
Ratscratch, Kaydren, what'd you guys get?
If I gotta do my stealth, I gotta do a disadvantage. With Pass Without a Trace, 16.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oof.
Oh, thank goodness.
That was on a
Alvin
cocked
also
dice, but
got
it
a
was
16.
showing 6, so.
Good job, Val.
Better?
That'd be a 1.
8.
Plus 10?
You rolled bad? You're supposed to be naturally stealthy. Oh, okay.
That's the third highest.
Did you
Third
roll
from
a
the bottom
negative
there.
2? Like, what just happened?
So
Could be worse.
as you guys are crossing the field, doing your best to remain low, you start to hear shouts back and forth in Undercommon, approaching you quickly.
Can we make it? Wait, undercommon. We don't speak that, right? Or I don't.
Correct. Nobody does. We have established this quite well.
Oh, what if one of us has been on Duolingo and now we know?
We
Duolingo's
should have
dead.
done that in our free time, but we didn't apparently.
Did we killed Duolingo? Is this what happened?
Ratscratch can mimic it, but we have no idea what he's saying,
Yeah.
and neither does
Correct.
Let's never let us wrong. It's fine.
Delicious cookies.
So it's
You're just-
approaching us, but we don't necessarily know if it's directed towards us.
It appears, from what you can hear, that their shouts back and forth to each other.
They're dancing
Who's-
and partying.
What's
Who's
your
like
name?
at the front of our? Who's the front of our? Who's
Frank!
leading our climb?
How
Like
are you
who'd be the
doing
first person to peek
today?
their head over?
I like your shoes.
So you're in the farm fields behind walls right now. So you're
Oh,
all
we
kind
haven't
of
even
bunched
started
together.
climbing yet.
Correct. You're on your way to the wall.
Don't you bring my mother into this.
Well, I mean, maybe they're distracted. And that'll just help us sneak in. I say we just forward march.
Forward hush.
Let's forward march.
Everybody hates me now.
That checks out.
Great.
Okay.
Spellcasters hate him because of this one simple trick.
As you guys are walking, the shouts become louder and louder. And we will begin next week with rolls for initiative.
Oh, God.
Rolls for
Oh.
initiative.
Thing to look forward to.
But I thought no one could see us.
We were wrong.
You were, well, not surprised, but you were into combat, I would say. You were spotted, I guess is the better way to say it. We will tune in next week to find out how you guys did.
On
You-
next week's episode.
By way of explanation, more than half the group failed a fairly high DC because you were in a fairly exposed spot. So
I thought we took on off the beaten path kind of trail, though.
you did. Unfortunately for you, there were people on high lookout looking specifically for people coming in that direction. So
Rude.
Right. Dicks.
that's what.
Wink,
So
wink, wink.
you did well, but you were walking into a very high DC. So
Ugh.
Ah.
Well,
all
damn.
right, guys.
Ooh,
I think
man.
we were climbing up to the very high DC, but you know, details.
La 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 la.
Darn
Bye,
it.
Internet.
Bye, internet. See